Welcome back, everyone, to Matchday 23 of the ESL Pro League in North America. We are joined in the second map here between eUnited and CLG as the CLG boys get us underway here with a nice opening pistol frag there onto Vice. CLG taking out map 1 on their pick, Dust 2. Now we're moving to eUnited to pick on Train. Nice start from the CLG players there, but eUnited here still with a great chance to take out this pistol round.
Absolutely. It's particularly on Train as well with all these long-range encounters. Shinobi will open things up for eUnited onto Cutler though, but Ethan with that flank leading the bomb towards what seems to be like a B-side pincer here, and Ethan will catch TCK completely unawares there as this B-bomb side's definitely prime for the taking.
Yeah, the bomb will go down here for CLG with a nice aggressive plant. You can see the usual pitfall of the Train map, which is the post-plant positions, being negated here by ultra aggression from CLG. They're holding the CT side forward position, and that will be Sabrosa onto A2Z. And just the one member of eUnited left, he'll go down to Ethan, who picks up a quad kill towards the back end of that round. And CLG start very, very well. But for me, Sean, it's whoever can, play with the least amount of errors here. We saw such a unrefined version of Dust 2 just then from both teams. Very, very slow, but also very rugged towards the back end of rounds. It was all about just hitting shots and making plays rather than any sort of particular strategy or teamwork being invoked by either team. So right now, eUnited are going to have to scratch and claw their way back into this one, but CLG seems pretty content with just getting straight out mid and getting that bomb down. So well played from CLG there, and it will be the, I'm going to call that a Stephen Curry. Long range.
Curry, yeah, okay.
Just boogied on him from deep, just over halfway, breaks down the defender and pulls up from 35.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll pay that. I mean, crucially, though, 4 of those frags going the way of the MAC-10 that round as well, so that's going to do wonders for CLG's economy moving further into this game. And eUnited, not the best start, but they will go for an outside stack here with those pistols. Shinobi will spot plenty of players there. He will be forced back by that Molotov, and Kusta, that MAC-10, trying to go to work again. He does get 2. Looking for that third onto A2Z. He's going to push up on him now. And, oh, that grenade does a lot of damage, and Kusta almost unable to finish that job. CJ will finally take care of Kusta, and it will be a 1v4 situation. He's just going to get that headshot, unable to land it, hazed. Will successfully get that kill, and CLG navigate another eco round, but this is where it all goes down. It will be the gun round coming out here. Shinobi will be pulling out that AWP, so will Kusta. So this is where we get to see if eUnited can hold things down on their CT side.
Really strange for me, CLG on Dust 2 on their CT side. Cutler was absolutely dominating with the AWP. Then in the second half, he didn't even touch it. Kusta went back onto the AWP, so it was odd for us on CT side originally on Dust 2 that Cutler had that AWP in his hand, and it wasn't Kusta, but now Kusta has the AWP, and Cutler dropped 25 in the first half of Dust 2 with that AWP, so obviously multiple options there for CLG in terms of the AWP use, but Kusta, one of the more known up-and-coming AWPers in the country right now.
Yep.
Standout performances with Enemy.
Yep.
In that side, he was breakout performances there that really got his name into the top tier circles. And since being in CLG, he's done a pretty good job with that AWP, and he'll use the scope to the best effect he can in this round. But it will be eUnited opening this one up. CJ picks up the first kill of the round onto Hayes, and it will be Shinobi just spinning around there and taking care of Sabrosa as he comes out of the pop dog room.
Early engagements going the way of eUnited here. So CLG will find themselves on the back foot as far as numbers. Cutler, though, trying to make a play out of team main. He will be supported there by his teammate in SL. And that will be Ethan. But they really need to try find an opening here. Just to pick somewhere to try and maybe draw some extra rotations. And there it is, Kusta with that AWP. We'll find CJ. trying to push up will get caught out of position. Shinobi will win that orb duel there. Vice does get Cutler, and it's all on Ethan now with that AK in a 1v4 situation. Shinobi gets the trip with that AWP that round, so put it into effect early, and eUnited will secure the first gun round.
eUnited for me is kind of like Shinobi +4.
Shinobi +4. Yeah, okay.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Sometimes when I watch the eUnited guys play, it looks as though they don't even know where sound's coming from. Like pistol round for the CLG player and a couple of times on this map, and he got a flank on. It was Ethan. No CTs heard him. A couple of times on Dust 2, we saw, you know, retakes and inexplicable things happen from eUnited. You're just like, what is going on? So Shinobi really has to lift hard. He's the best player on their team. He's the AWPer, and he needs to put up bulk kills on this map for them to stand any chance. But CJ has actually started really well here for eUnited, so that's good signs as TCK looks to hold the inside of this bomb zone. He gets that flash off nicely, and he will step on the side of the bomb train. Can he get 1 and 2? No, just the single there as Sabrosa using that spam to go the length of the map and pick up a double. Kusa does have the AWP and crucially a Molotov. So obviously the high ramp Molotov play can come in there, but there is a smoke down on CJ. So this can be nullified, but it's Kusa picking up the close kill onto CJ. Now it's Vice, 2 versus 1, trying to make his way in there. Sabrosa and Kusa fighting him off. They do see him work his way around the train, and I think that they've done enough here. Yes, they have. CLG pick up that 5th round, and eUnited straight back onto an eco round potentially. Mid-3s for a couple of players and 1 in the 4s, but they're not going to have a whole lot to work with here. No,
economy's not looking good for eUnited, and I mean Sabrosa there with that 4K to really set his team up to win that round. I said they were down in numbers for that retake, but you know, a couple of smart flashes and some good play coming out from, in particular, Sabrosa was able to secure that round. So CLG will move to 4-1 here on their T side. Crucially, this is eUnited's pick, so they will not want to bleed too many CT-sided rounds, I would imagine, if they're looking to try and lock this down. TCK, though, goes for the step there onto Sabrosa and does actually collect that AK. So, great start coming here from from eUnited on a round that doesn't have too much investment for him.
No, and that AK is been thrown to A2Z. So, he's going to be charged with getting the damage for his team, and it will be Ethan for CLG just opening up this outside side. Nice Molotov, nice spray. A2Z does get a double, but the pressure here is being absorbed by the CLG players. But look at CJ. He's got an opportunity here. He gets the first. Can he get the second? No. Kusa wheels around now to 1 versus 1. TCK with that P250 trying to spot out the angle. The flash comes in from Kusa, and he does know where he is. It's such an easy kill for Kusa.
Yeah, Kusa there with the AWP is able to save that round for CLG, and they will move ever further ahead here on their T side. eUnited, though, coming out with the buy. They will have the AWP on Shinobi, as well as 3 M4s, a UMP onto Vice, and you know, a fair amount of utility. So this is going to have to be a hold here for eUnited, as they are starting to bleed one too many rounds on their CT side.
Absolutely, Shinobi going to play a huge role here with that AWP outside. Sabrosa takes fast into that pop dog room, and CJ is well aware of the danger, but so is Sabrosa, and he picks up the headshot after being headshotted himself there. So AK versus M4, obviously the victor going the way of the T-sided player due to that one-hit kill in the head thing that the AK does compared to the M4.
Yep, that one taps.
That one tap dirt nap thing that happens.
Yep. As TCK on this B side or inside side defense is actually putting in work, standing out in the open there between the trains. Will finally get taken out by Cutler, but A2Z, that ballsy play through the smoke there does actually catch them both off guard, and we'll get a double kill for his trouble. And eUnited finally secure their second round on their CT side, and hopefully this is the start of them building some momentum. They have opted for a double AWP here, Pete, as well. So
yep, good signs here for eUnited, but to be honest, that inside strat by CLG was rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. There was no low ramp Molotov there. There was no flash in between the bomb train and the low ramp train, which is exactly where the CT was sitting. Nothing through the window there deep into CT con, so it was just a run-of-the-mill strat there, as security is just going off at the Peanut Gallery house once again.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's how they do it. And I mean, TCK.
No, A2Z picks one up. So he's the Canadian, I guess, star player, if you could call him that, for eUnited. He needs to do a lot more if he wants to carry the reputation through from being an up-and-comer into just a pure, solid, good player.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of developing to do in regards to his consistency. But A2Z does have the skill required to get there. So he's got the second orb, and it will be him and Shinobi opening up. But Kuster is actually the one who opens up, and CLG once again are just running roughshod over this outside bomb site.
Absolutely, and they've really come up on the favourable side of the trades there. eUnited opting to have 4 players playing outside, but it just seemed like CLG were able to just run out and take individual aim duels without the trades coming in. As I say that, though, there will be a team kill coming out there for CLG, which will turn this back into a 1v2 situation here for TCK.
How long do you need to reload in this game? Is it more than 20 seconds?
Well, I guess
TCK has had every opportunity, but he's persisted with walking through the bomb site with a pistol out.
Look, if he makes that work, then, you know, we go great play. But I feel you there. I mean, perhaps he was concerned about, he only spotted out, I think, one of them on the site there. Perhaps concerned about the second player being close in his vicinity and waiting for him to go for that reload, the sound cue.
Completely understand. Know where you're coming from, but if you're trying to get to the bomb and actually go for the round, which he was, you need to reload your rifle. And shoot the enemies and get to the bomb. Not walk through the train yard with your pistol. If you're going to do that, just walk back to spawn with your pistol out and save your rifle.
Yeah.
There's no reason he needs to go for that. I'm not saying he should have gone for it, but if you're going to go for it, reload your rifle and get your skates on. Get towards the bomb and get some kills. So, not the best round unfolding there for eUnited as they get completely torched outside. And now CLG will move on to their 6th T-side round. Vice here spotting out Vines with that P250. Does get a little bit of damage off onto Kuster, but it is only a little bit of damage, 20 in fact.
Yep, and we are going to see, we're going to watch CLG now have their way with outside bomb site here, and Cutler will find that frag on the Vice as well towards Vines, and it's all going to be on TCK with that USP to try and make something work. Not going to happen. Cutler will take care of that as well, and CLG move to 7 plays 3. 7 rounds on their T side. Economy of eUnited in shambles at the moment, Pete. I mean, alarm bells would be ringing if I was eUnited at the moment.
Absolutely. They do buy into this one, though. And they'll have the AWP onto Shinobi, so that's a positive there for eUnited. But they will have those 2 Fatnesses in play, and yeah, the AK is working well for CLG so far, and it's going to be another outside push here from CLG eventually. Kuster does get aggressive out mid, but is nicely flashed away from his positioning from eUnited. Moving back towards the bomb, CLG will regroup here and I guess still make moves towards that mid-con area, but it will be CJ taking down Cutler, getting outside, and Shinobi opens up nicely onto Kuster. So this is going better here for eUnited. They just need to make sure that from here, they don't lose 3 guns. So this is a 5 versus 3. You've got an AWP in hand. You can sit right at the back of the train yards and just pick off and just wait. Even if you give up the plant, it's better than giving away 3 kills to the opposition. So eUnited must go this round without losing 3 players. And they're going certainly towards that goal right now in this 5 versus 2.
We are going to watch Sabrosa here. Try and find this opening frag for CLG onto this inside bomb site. TCK just posted up behind the bomb train, trying to sound out Sabrosa, and he would hear the footsteps now, so that rotation call is going to come in. He actually goes for the bomb planter there, and unable to make that work. Sabrosa will deal with that. United need to be very careful here, though. They're up in a 4v2 advantage. They do have 2 players who are very low, but that's a very crafty line coming out from Shinobi, and A2Z with that FAMAS will take care of Ethan. So eUnited successfully navigate that round there without losing too many players as well. So that's going to help bolster their economy going into the later part of this half.
Yeah, actually, really good stuff there from eUnited. I did say that even at the sacrifice of that bomb plant, they needed to keep more than 2 players alive. They need that 3rd player alive in terms of their money, and they did that. TCK, they're patiently playing inside. As I said, he did allow the bomb plant, but after both locations were known, both Ts were spotted, it was just a matter of a cleanup duty for eUnited, and they pick up their 4th round. Shinobi continuing the good work on the AWP. But for CLG, having already 7 rounds, they're playing for bonus right now, and every round for them is going to be of benefit. So eUnited here, knee deep in the struggle. See if they can extend their lead here.
Really cool line there coming out from was CJ, but he was unable to get the frags, and meanwhile his teammates have fallen around him, and as quick as the A side execute was initiated, all the defenders have just fallen one after another. So Shinobi and TCK here up into these Whitehallers are going to look to save their weaponry, I'd imagine, as they just don't have the economy here to really afford to lose these weapons on a potential retake.
No, and it'll be a struggle for Shinobi to get another AWP here if he's unable to save this one. But it does look as though, from the eUnited perspective, they will be able to save. Those 2 guns will remain with Shinobi and TCK through the next round. They'll live to fight another day, but CLG picking up their 8th round on the board already.
And this is a very strong T-side coming out here, as this map is still CT-sided in the way that it's approached, and you will see most teams post a significant score on their CT side. However, for eUnited, on their map pick, which is worth pointing out, they're struggling at the moment. CLG really starting to stretch away. They will buy into this round, eUnited boys, back in that AWP on Shinobi. But it's not the strongest buy. A couple of FAMASs, only a little bit of utility. It's going to be off the back of some sharp shooting. Pete?
Absolutely, but they have got those rifles in good positions as Hayes takes down Vice for extending into the spray area, but CJ gets the shot back onto Kusa there. Actually gets a double. Really lovely work there from CJ, turning around back in his team's favour, and TCK picks up the kill onto Ethan as well. So eUnited coming alive in the back half of their map pick on Train. The back half of the first half, I should say, of their map pick on Train. And they're starting to look okay, but once again, they need to be really careful here about how many guns they lose this one. TCK not doing such a good job there of delaying the plant long enough, and now you can see the advanced position here of Sabrosa. The CTs have no idea where he is, and he will get that kill. Now it's a 2 versus 2. So Hayes already with the double here, could pick up the quad in the end, but Sabrosa finding the angle through the smoke. That's a crazy shot into CJ. He will go down to Shinobi, and this is a 1 versus 1 now for Hayes. The trajectory of the Molotov the bomb, just in case that the last player is there, but for Shinobi, no kit, and he's going to struggle. He should already be backing away from this one, Shinobi. What are you doing, son? Get out of there. You can't defuse already. Good stuff there from Shinobi, able to pick up the kill, and he does get out, so this will be okay, and he does not get out. So horrible decision-making there from Shinobi, and I mean, I can count to 10.
Yeah.
And these guys are paid to play Counter-Strike, and I mean, that really should...
Yeah, it's just not worth.
Counting to 10 is within the scope of what a Counter-Strike player should be able to do for me.
Like, I don't understand the thought process there of him pushing.
It's happened to eUnited 4 or 5 times. This isn't one time where, like, oh my god, he's just had a brain explosion. There were 4 times on Dust 2 where eUnited players went for a defuse, and there was absolutely no point and no opportunity. And that was one there for Shinobi. That one where he could have easily saved an AWP. He had every opportunity to back away from that one. Kusa does pick up, I think, 2 there. Frags across the board, and Hayes ends up tasering TCK. So eUnited here going to have to hold on to the last round of their first half to really have any chance here. But for me, CLG has done more than enough on their T side to take this one home.
Yeah, and I mean, it's rather grim at the moment from eUnited. There's some decision-making that has been highlighted in these last 2 games across the board there. by some of the United players that just is not adding up, and it's unfortunate because they quite sharp players, as we will watch CJ get a double kill to open things up here. It will be traded back out. In fact, the trades have gone back and forth here, and when all is said and done, Sub Rosa will find himself in a 1v2 situation against Shinobi and Vice. Cruz, wow. He doesn't have bomb though, Pete, as I stammer over my words there.
No.
Crucially.
Crucially, doesn't have the bomb, but eUnited are in good spots here to cover the push. Shinobi's in a weird position for me because he's actually left the underside of that push open, so where Sabrosa is right now. Of course, Vice does get the spot onto midcon, but in terms of where the CLG player is coming from, he's got every opportunity here to pick up the kill onto Vice. Whether or not Shinobi can then step on him from above while he's getting that kill is another thing, and in fact he does. So lovely angle there from Shinobi taking down the last player for CLG. It is another 10-5 scoreline to CLG after the first half. eUnited are going to have to fight pretty hard here for this pistol round, but unfortunately for them, they're not heading into the favourable side. They're going on to the T side of Train. Now, there is an argument for Train being T-sided, but depending on what team you are and how you play the map. So that I understand that this can be a T-side map. Yeah, I really do. But the teams that are great on T-side and do have that depth throughout, they have so many strats and so many big side executes and inside executes. You know, SK are a fantastic example of someone in the NA Pro League right now that have a dazzling array of strategy on Train and variable executes that they can move towards. For me, I haven't seen anything from eUnited that would suggest that they have that. So if you don't have that, what you need is confidence, you need aggression, and you need some randomization of that outside bomb side. What I mean by that is everyone knows that the generic smoke hit for outside. Well, you should if you're playing in the professional sort of realm. Just a generic 2 or 3 smokes over the outside wall, get those smokes up. Once they're up, you basically turn the outside bomb side into a lottery, whereby you get heaps of smokes down, and it's just a matter of who sees who first on what angle. So you try and take as much of that positioning and strategy element out of the game as possible if you're eUnited, and just revert back to your base instincts of let's get hungry out there and get some frags, because otherwise I just don't see eUnited having a huge impact in the second half.
Look, I think it's important to point out that eUnited going into the second half, which will be their T-sided half, they don't have to worry about defusing bombs anymore. So,
well, that's a welcome relief.
That process of knowing the timer and retaking the site will be removed from their T side. They still have the round timer. They'll have to suss out, but hopefully that means they can get a few more rounds on the board. Might be a bit easier for them.
Yeah, the decision making for obviously eUnited not the best late round on their CT sides. They don't seem to have any sort of idea how to go about winning those late round situations where they have to get at the bomb together as a team and work together to sort of close down the objective and, you know, gap close on players, get, you know, still take angles and duels while moving towards the bomb. That's what the great CT sides do. They're able to, you know, retake small portions of the map while still maintaining the objective. So eUnited with a bit of work to do, but as you said, they don't have to worry about that. They have to worry about planting the bomb on this half. And as we go into the second half pistol round, it will be CLG on the CT side of things, looking to close out this one as quickly as possible, but eUnited, of course, fighting against the odds here on the T side.
Absolutely, and we are going to see United with a bit of utility across TCK there, but it's mostly armor across the boys, and they are going to look to send the bomb towards Vines early, so I'd imagine some kind of A-Pincer coming out here as Hazed will spot out 2, make that 3, and oh no. Oh, Hazed putting in work there, supported by Kusta, but as quick as this round started, United trying to get some aggression out, they've just been shut down. Absolutely shut down.
So what happens when you get those one taps with the USP? It just accelerates things for CLG. They'll pick up the pistol. They didn't do that on the other map on Dust 2. So they started 10-5, but they didn't get the pistol round on the second half.
No, they didn't. And they needed it. So CLG if they get too much of an economy here, they're going to really run away with this, I'd imagine. So eUnited opting to buy into this with a bunch of utility too. So I'm expecting to see some kind of execute here onto this inside bomb site to create an opportunity to plant the bomb. And they are going to stay grouped up. They will only have Cutler and Ethan to deal with there. And
CSGO. Sometimes you just have to chuckle. Sabrosa there lines up a smoke to go into the room, and the smoke hits a tiny little bit of railing sticking out from the floor, and it just goes off in the wrong spot. So that smoke very much should not be there. It should be in the actual Pop Dog room, but it will be just a flash down low ramp here. And
and Ethan doing plenty of work there. eUnited won't even get to the bomb site.
Bit of a strange one for me for eUnited. They've invested 2 smokes, 3 flashbangs, and 1 P250 in that round. So, you know, it's a couple of $1,000s worth of investment there, and you just feel as though that they could have used that this round and maybe bought Deagles and those smokes this round, for example. Like maybe combining the use of the extra pistols with the extra utility, fusing those into some sort of what they call a force buy.
Vice there will open things up on the Cutler. Ethan does trade back though, so it will be a 4v4 situation now. United looking to do damage on this outside bomb side. Shinobi will find that frag on the Hazed. He was actually helped by Kusta, and Shinobi gets a double for his trouble here. So 4v2 situation now for CLG as eUnited take control of the outside bomb site.
Certainly do, and almost forced to eat my words here, but it will be Shinobi and his counterpart there, A2Z, but Sabrosa does pick up the first, and this is still a bit sticky here for the T-side player, but he will find the angle there. A2Z gets onto Sabrosa, so eUnited win that Deagle, no armor, no grenade buy, and you make me eat my words, knife and fork will be provided by courtesy of eUnited. But, you know, look, at the end of the day, they'll continue to plug away. CLG can still afford 2 AWPs, though. So they're not out of the woods yet here, eUnited, and they'll have to continue to fight hard for every single round.
And I mean, crucially, eUnited able now to come into this round with a really solid buy off the back of that Deagle round. And they're going to look to try and get this A-side pincer going again. Shinobi looking for that frag towards Vines. Nothing's peaking just yet, as they will have both the AWPers towards this outside bomb site.
They certainly will, and I mean, last round, I guess, went eUnited's way because there was just missed shots there from CLG, so they're going to have to just get their aim to work in their advantage again. It looks as though Ethan here will get caught out by this AK spray. He should go down here. Does CJ. Picks up the headshot with the help of Vice. So once again, that CLG CT side looking a little bit flimsy, pushing those exterior choke points like they did on Dust 2 and just not working out. There's no plan there for Ethan. There's no smoke down. There's no pop flash coming through. There's no weird angle being held. It's just him walking up low ramp and trying to get a frag. So it doesn't pan out the way he thinks. eUnited there just grouping up and taking him down as a duo. And now CLG will have to fight from behind. The great news for CLG is that there's 2 AWPs in place. They can hold that range and hold that sort of slow play style at bay. Certainly not saying that Ethan shouldn't have pushed there, but the way that he did it was a very simplistic way that allowed an easy frag for the United guys. And now CJ and Shinobi combined for the 1-2 punch. Kuster and Hazed will immediately back away. But there is a lurking terrorist there in the back, A2Z. Now, he's not going to push up just yet. He's going to wait for that exit through Vines, but eventually I think he'll get nice and close if they don't already push towards him. But Kuster has forced his hand, but he's got the angle. Crazy stuff there from Kuster, because you didn't really expect him to pre-aim that spot or hold that angle, unless, of course, he got spotted out earlier. And just, you know, we didn't see it because we were watching the inside action. But nice shot there from Kuster. He's going to have to do a lot more with that AWP next round if CLG want to pick up that one. eUnited will pick up the 7th round. And as we go into round 20, CLG still have a pretty decent lead here, but eUnited not out of it just yet.
Yeah, United slowly coming back, and I mean, crucially in that round, Subrosa as the solo inside player, giving himself away on the top train there. I'm not sure. I mean, he must be aware that his shadow can be seen onto that, but that's what gave him away. Shinobi able to simply pre-fire him with a teammate's flash, which left the B bomb site wide open. So if you're going to play on top of that train towards that low ramp, you need to be aware of if you're giving yourself away or not. So good round coming out from eUnited, able to break back, and no investment coming into this round from CLG. Just the AWP and M4 on Kusta and Hayes that they managed to save from last round. So CLG will be looking to them to try and do as much damage as possible. eUnited, though, opting for a very slow approach to this round. Send a couple of players towards Vines again, and as well as a few players towards Brownhorse.
For me, this is mismanagement here by CLG. You've got the AWP, you've got the M4 in play, so you give yourself a fighting chance on train. No force buy from the other guys, that's fine. Someone needs to have a kit here. Someone needs to have a diffusal kit, because if you get to 2 AWP picks at the start, you get 2 frags, it's starting to go well for you. The other team gets, so United gets a couple of kills on, let's say, Cutler and Ethan, who are on eco.
Yeah.
You want to be able to still win that round. And the way you win that round is by having a kit and being able to get back to the bomb, obviously, and diffusing it. So for the sake of $400 across someone on the team, just that one kit needs to be in play just to give us a fighting chance there, as Subrosa does pick up the first kill, traded by CJ, but that'll be fine there for CLG, the player without a gun, picking up a kill, so that's important.
Absolutely, and we are going to see an outside pincer coming in from eUnited. Kusta will use that AWP and find TCK, so number advantage going the way of CLG at the moment. Kusta finds a second one onto A2Z as well. Vice finally trades back onto him, and CJ also gets that kill onto Ethan. It will be a 2v2 situation. Bomb is being planted at the back of the train, though. Hazed knows where the planter is. Goes for the feet shot. I'm not sure about that. Does get a lot of damage off. CJ will be on 13 HP, and there it is. Cutler behind with that AWP from SL. Does find Vice. Gets the second one onto CJ. And eUnited managed to find a way to lose that round.
Yep, and they did so without a kit. I mean, CLG did so without a kit there, so you can see what I'm saying. Had that 2 versus 2 not panned out like that, the use of a kit there would have been crucial.
Yeah.
But as it stands, both frags coming out very quickly for CLG, and they're able to get that one to defuse very quickly. Shinobi will grab the AWP on the T side of things, but Kusta and Cutler now with those AWPs. And critically here for CLG, if you look at the frag distribution, 14, 17, 17, 13, 15.
Yeah.
Everyone doing really good work there for CLG. eUnited, a few players struggling compared to maybe Shinobi and CJ, but Cutler will open up there onto Vice, onto CJ rather, and Vice will get the trade there.
So we will find both teams in a 4v4 situation early in this round here, as eUnited look to fall back from Vines with some of their players. They're going to look to regroup here, I think, Pete, in an attempt to take either SL control or Brownhorse. CT's, however, opting for a 1-3 defense with only that one player inside. That will be Ethan, and his teammates setting up crossfires towards the outside bomb site. What
I don't like here for the CT side is that Ethan, the player that they've chosen to hold solo inside, only has those 2 flashes left. The Molotov for Kusta or Subrosa would be very, very handy here for Ethan to have, because as these smokes come down low ramp, he could actually slow this one down. Ethan's going to have to play this one by the book and just hold and wait for the cavalry to arrive. Subrosa is going to be first man on point there, and may actually get a Molotov down onto the bomb plant, but look, Shinobi opening up nicely on the edge of the smoke there onto Subrosa. And now CLG should probably just save this one out straight away and just leave Ethan there to fight his own battle. But they won't. They'll go for it. And Ethan actually still doing really fantastic work here. And this could actually go the way of CLG. I thought this should be a save, but the kills here in different positions. But CLG have an issue here. No one's going for the bomb defuse. They're just standing around. Neither of them has a kit. And
does he suck it? Oh, he's got off it.
2 CLG players, neither of them with a kit, just standing there. It's
worth pointing out, I can actually see the kit on the ground there.
And there was a guy at high ramp too.
Yeah.
So I mean, unfortunate, I guess, for CLG, if you'd like to call it that. Definitely, without a kit, should have been a save round, but
Well, I mean, the players had the kit, I believe. I'm not I wasn't actually privy to how many kits they did, but if they'd only had the one, that player's at some point peaked high ramp, gone for a very aggressive play towards high ramp there, and lost the kit in an unfavourable situation. But that, you live and learn there for CLG, and they will be reset into this round, opting for very little buy into it other than one smoke.
the retakes here from both sides have been woeful.
Yeah,
In both of these maps.
Haven't been something to write home
woeful.
about, that's for sure.
Just the lack of coordination, the seeming lack of communication between multiple players. I can't even isolate who it is exactly on either team because there have been so many examples of poor CT play on the retake in this particular matchup between eUnited and CLG that I just have to put it across the board to like basically these two teams just don't really understand how to make those situations work in their favor in terms of trading and moving in properly, eliminating areas of maps and just like zoning in on the bomb.
Yeah.
A lot of standing around, a lot of, oh, you go get a kill. No, you get a kill. No, you get a kill. That sort of stuff going on as CLG do pick up a few kills, but eUnited with the bomb plant down here and control of the round.
Absolutely, and CLG, though, they do have a couple of players coming in from Whitehorse here. A2Z, though, in a very good position. Does actually go for that pre-fire spray transfer, expecting the second player to be closer. And look, that probably should have been what CLG did in the way they approached those halls, but instead wanted to go one at a time. Hayes does find TCK, though. Picks up that weapon, but Shinobi with that AWP. It's an end to that, and eUnited get another round on the board here. And yeah, look, I'm with you as far as some of these CT-sided retakes. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I don't know the decision-making that's going on there, but this doesn't seem right. And it's across both teams at the moment as far as what we've seen on both maps. So something that both teams, I guess, would have to go to the demo and maybe something they can work on. But as we will kick off this round, Shinobi with that AWP goes out early, looks for that pick towards E-Box, unable to get it to connect, but it's a fair bit of damage there. I think it was an M4. Might have actually even been legged through the wall with an AWP.
He got tagged through the wall with an AWP, 45 HP, got taken off, and then that grenade just absolutely sacked him. So Shinobi down to 6. Kusa needs to be super careful here. He doesn't overextend and actually pick down that Vines alley. But look, as it stands, CLG will almost have a one-man advantage here. That Molotov not even forcing the Vines player to really move away from his spot. This should be an inside bomb slide hit here from eUnited, or at least an outside split from T-Con and Pop Dog's small ladder. But it looks as though, no, it will be this inside bomb slide hit. They do fancy this matchup against Ethan inside. They know he's holding solo. But the difference here is Cutler's actually backing him up this round from mid-con. So unless the smokes and flashes are on point here for eUnited, they could be in a bit of trouble. The flash that they're not throwing is the one that goes off between the bomb train and this low ramp train. That's the crucial flash that eUnited haven't been throwing and have allowed Ethan to sit there. And CLG, by the same token, didn't really have that flash either. So now the inside bomb slide hit will come in, and Cutler just gets a free kill. And look at Ethan here on top of the bomb train. That'll be 1, that'll be 2, could it be 3? No, CJ gets him, but he's taken down. Vice gets yet another kill, but look, this one has gone pear-shaped here for eUnited. Vice will try and get the plant down in the open on the right-hand side. That's actually a decent-looking plant. He can fight for that bomb plant, but he's going to run out of angles. Cutler ends up with the triple, and yeah, that eUnited inside execute lacking some punch, lacking some smokes, lacking some flashes.
Yes.
And as I said, the T-sided train can be very, very strong, but it's almost like you're either great on T-side train or it's just like you just have to do what you can to try and get rounds. And eUnited definitely fall into that later category. And yeah, they just need to throw a few more elements in that inside bomb slide hit to really throw CLG off the scent.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right there. It's just missing a couple of elements. That's all it is. It's you can clearly see they've put in some work onto that execute and getting that down right, but it's just missing a couple more pieces, and I can actually see it being quite an efficient hit, as we've seen it in the past for other teams that have used something similar. So United there trying to make something happen. They are going to buy into this round. They have very minimal utility this time. Shinobi, in fact, only using a Tech 9 and a couple of flashes. So we'll be facing the double AWP setup. And here it is. It's going to be an outside bomb hit, and CJ opens things up onto Sub Rosa, and TCK also finds Hayes. Cutler does find a response, but it's only one. And eUnited have managed to take this A bomb site, leaving Ethan and Kuster in a 2v4 situation. Bomb will go down here as well, but I think CLG are going to opt to try and save, or are we going to see...
They definitely should try and save.
Yeah.
Kuster and Ethan there, backing away from the bomb, so indeed they will. But for me, Bal, eUnited here, looking pretty lackluster on their own map pick. You do at least expect them to have an outside bomb site execute or an inside bomb site execute. But this is their map pick. They're playing professional Counter-Strike in the North American Pro League of ESL, and you pick Train and you don't know how to hit inside. Like, for me, that's not good enough.
I mean, I'm not saying they don't know how to hit
No, I am
inside.
saying that. You're certainly not saying that. I am
No,
saying
yeah.
that they don't know how to hit the inside bomb site because they don't have the mid-con smoke,
Yeah.
they don't have the low-ramp smoke, they don't have the backup bomb site, bomb train Molotov, they don't have the flashes that pop off in between the trains, they don't have the one remaining player in Brown Halls that has the Molotov to defend off the bomb. None of these core elements that you see from every good inside strategy, all of them are missing for eUnited. So they don't really know what they're doing, and for me it's pretty startling given this is your map pick.
Yeah, look, I'm with you there, and eUnited, though, slowly clawing their way back into this. CLG not going to be able to buy into this round. They will have that FAMAS and AWP across Ethan and Kuster respectively from last round. And the team is going to look to those players to try and have an impact on this defense. eUnited, though, slowing things up once again. Leaving the bomb there towards Brown Halls while sending 3 players towards Vines here. So perhaps a B-site pincer through dark side of CT is on the cards. And that'd be quite interesting. I'd like to see them execute that if they can pull it off here.
Love to see them pull it off, but it will be the eUnited players just slowing it down. See, this is where you'd expect to see a set execute come out here from eUnited. This is where after a minute you've done all the hard work, you've flushed everything out. Now let's see some sort of set execute to get yourself onto the bomb site from here. But you can see they're all just kind of standing around right now. There's one smoke that's come out of Vines, and they're still just holding it around and not really showing any emphasis. 30 seconds to go. They haven't really made any inroads, and that's free kill there to Kuster. And he will be supported aptly by his teammates. I think no. Unfortunately, Ethan not able to make the kill there, but it is Hayes shooting the length of the map with that deagle. He does get the bomb down, so once again, CLG might actually pick up their second eco round in the same circumstance. 16 seconds to go, 2 versus 3 situation, but Hayes has a fantastic angle on the bomb, and he's just waiting for Shinobi to come around the back. The bomb goes down again, and... No, okay, eUnited don't know how to play Train. They've picked the map, they don't know how to play.
CLG move to match point here. It will be 15 plays 10. eUnited, heartbreak for them as they've squandered another round there on their T side, and they're really in that. I mean, you'd back them in to win those, and that's 2 rounds where a 2-player save, and then the following round, 0 investment from the 3 other players has resulted in a win for CLG. So they've managed to turn these 2 weapons into round wins on 2 occasions now on their CT side, and the pressure well and truly on eUnited now as CLG will have a very strong buy going into this round.
Yep.
eUnited, only the 4 AKs and the 1 Tech 9, very minimal utility as well. Excuse me, and they're going to go back towards this inside bomb site, Pete.
And this is okay. They've got limited resource here, couple of smokes, and they just need an aggressive push here. They're just waiting for the one of the CLG players to wander out of position. But once they go here, eUnited, they really need to go. And indeed they are. They're coming down low ramp now. 2 players inside here for CLG. Both go down. And again, that's much, much better from eUnited. They just group up and go together. Turn this map into a firefight instead of some back and forth strategical battle that they're ill-equipped to win. So eUnited, you can absolutely win rounds. You can absolutely win matches, but you need to focus on what your strengths are.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah, so eUnited really focusing on what would work for them there. And I said the same thing about them on Dust 2 as well.
Yeah.
Short round timers and aggressive play will suit eUnited. They have the likes of A2Z who can do some things. They have Vice who can do some things. TCK, CJ, they do have some aim. Shinobi's a decent AWPer, and he showed that. So if you have those pieces in place, you can win rounds. You can absolutely win rounds.
Yeah.
But you need to be designing the way that those rounds are being played around the strength of the team.
Yeah.
And the strength of the team is not late round scenarios in which difficult decisions need to be made time after time after time. And I guess short time situations where the pressure's on, that doesn't suit you. That doesn't suit eUnited.
And I mean, eUnited, as you pointed, they do have the aim. They've got the ability to be incredibly sharp with their entry. So with that picked up pace and you know, a little bit of utility spread and a bit of fast action across these trains, and yeah, they can definitely open up rounds. But CLG are on match point here. They will be going with a full eco into this round, so eUnited should be able to navigate this reasonably safely. A2Z is on 6 HP. Got a damage from Hayes there. Vice also gets a kill on the Sub Rosa, so CLG now going to regroup towards this inside bomb site. As we are going to be on board with CJ, he will spot out Kusti. He actually spots out the second player as well. And just like that, United will navigate this eco quite successfully. In fact, flawlessly, as they won't lose a player there.
Yep.
And, I mean, yeah, slowly clawing their way back into it. But this is the round. This is the moment. This is the one where they're going to need to counter.
And again, when you're in a round like this, it's 15 to 12. You're on the T side of train. This is when you go to the strat where you've dry run 1,000 times and you know you can pull off every single time. Whether or not it wins or not is a different thing, but you have a very big, heavy set execute here for outside or inside, and you force CLG to lose this round, get back onto eco if you win this, and maybe even get to overtime. So if eUnited have anything in the bank here, they got full complement of utility, every grenade known to mankind, and good positioning here. The B stack, though, here from CLG is crazy.
Vice, I believe, has disconnected.
Right, so they're AFK. Right,
AFK,
okay.
yeah, so...
That's fine. I was very confused for just a moment, but yeah, they've clearly communicated, and Vice has disconnected there, so they'll wait for him to come back, I assume, and restart the round back to 15 to 12. There we go. He's just disconnected then, so I'm sure he'll be back in just a moment. Shocking stuff there from both sides in terms of, you know, what we've seen strategically. It's been an arm wrestle. It's been a struggle for both sides to really get their strategy going. What has worked fantastically for both sides, though, is the raw fragging power.
Yes.
I think that when we've seen players unleashed on different parts of the map, Dust 2 and Train, brilliant individual performances. Kusta's had some rounds, Cutlass had some rounds, CJ for eUnited's had some rounds, Shinobi's had some rounds. So across the board, both teams are playing quite well in terms of their aim and their mechanics.
Yeah.
But strategically for eUnited, quite disappointing in terms of what they brought to the table on their map pick, on their T side. Not over yet. But regardless of if they come back to overtime, that would just point out CLG's deficiencies as well, rather than, you know, say eUnited saved their half by coming back and they really fought hard. If they do come back, it's not going to be because I've seen something from eUnited that's blown me away and thought, yeah, they put work into their train. It's going to be because CLG don't close this one out.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you're spot on there. The key thing you pointed out is all these players in here, we've seen moments where they're incredibly sharp.
Yeah,
the aim is there. These guys know how to point and click at a high level. It's just some of the decision making late in the rounds. Some of the decision making with the players you've got as well in your lineup, and you know, playing to their strengths as you pointed out. That's been a little bit subpar. So, I mean, if they could fix those things, you know, yeah, sky's the limit. But
it's a pretty big if, and I think there are some skill deficiencies right now that the eUnited guys need to look at, particularly on their CT side. The individual communication seems to be lackluster, seems to be, you know, not on point. Heaps of people getting shot in the back or the side, or just having little to no map awareness on their CT side of things, that's really hurting them because their T side, they can look really quite good, eUnited.
Yeah.
I've seen moments where Shinobi's hitting the AWP. They're playing that sort of maybe medium pace game where they're entering that bomb site around that 1 minute 15 mark. That really suits them. Anything 1:15 or quicker will really suit eUnited. Anything slower, and at that point you're relying more on chemistry, teamwork, and strategy. Certainly, I don't think that's eUnited's strong point. So for me, speed up the game, eUnited. Get into the grills of CLG and force them to make the mistakes. You put the pressure on them by playing aggressively.
I'm 100% with you. In the rounds that we have seen eUnited get a little bit aggressive, it's been quite successful.
Yeah,
they do find themselves on the favourable side of the trades and some of those aim duels. So I think you're right. I think they need to back that in, and that's their opportunity to try and crawl into an OT on their map here. But it's going to be difficult because CLG, in a pretty good position here to really close this out. There will be a bye going into this round. Once they reset the economy situation, I believe both teams will be going into this round with a full bye. So this is where it will make or break. And I think as far as economy goes as well, it's both teams are hanging on an edge there. So very important round coming up.
CLG, though, look really good when they play ultra defensive against eUnited. And I highlighted that on Dust too.
Yeah.
When CLG were pushing those flanks or those auxiliary positions, they looked really quite weak. When they were solid in defense and defensive, they looked quite strong.
Yeah.
And for me, that's a reflection on how CLG like to play their CT side, but it's also a reflection on how, I guess, poorly eUnited execute.
Yeah.
Because if you're able to hold in those bomb sites comfortably for long periods without being pushed around, it means the Ts aren't doing a great job of actually pushing you out of your spots and making you rotate and forcing those options upon you. Whereas, obviously, United, that's not their strength. They're going to win a lot of their rounds at the start, which means, when they fight fire with fire, they're doing really well. They're winning a lot of rounds. They're taking those drills. Fantastic. So, eUnited, very much gearing towards that. But
we saw examples of that even in this map where on their CT side, CLG, in fact, both teams are a little bit guilty of it. There's moments where this dry pushes up the low ramp on inside of train and getting fragged without creating an opportunity or anything for your team, and just a little bit sloppy on the CT side. It's not required, particularly from CLG, because like you pointed out, they play so well when they do set up their sort of more passive hold and they work off each other. So I'd like to see more of that from CLG, and I'd also like to see, as you pointed out, eUnited really picking up the pace on their T side and trying to make things a little bit more frantic, because I feel like they'd benefit from that. I feel like they'd benefit from those little aim duels that they can isolate players.
Absolutely. And when you talk about those aggressive pushes on the flanking sides of the map, so in this particular case, you'd have for the CTs inside on brown halls, and you also have vines or alleyway.
Yeah.
Those are the two external sort of points you can push as a CT. The main, obviously, being the main outside bomb site. Lots of space there. You'll just hold that area, but you'll push the others. So if you want to get extra information.
Yeah.
And for me, the difference between someone who does that at a high level and someone who does that at a low level, the use of utility. So a couple of times we saw CLG making the right moves, pushing inside, putting the pressure on, but there were no smokes.
Yeah.
There were no pop flashes. There wasn't anyone backing them up. There didn't seem to be any real structure or idea on as to how. Whereas if you watch the likes of SK or Fnatic or any of those sort of tier 1 sides, when they do those same pushes, there's always a smoke and a flash combo that's insanely difficult for the other opponent to read. They're always taking a favorable aim duel because of that utility and because of that aggression, or even going with a teammate in one direction or another. So those are the little things that you can see the difference between. And even here in NA, Cloud9 do a fantastic job of doing those little individual plays. It comes from a very, dedicated line of thinking to your craft. Nothing does a fantastic job of knowing smokes, flashes, that sort of stuff. Not just that, his knowledge of individual stuff. So, for example, a one-way smoke here, a pop flash there. Those sort of little plays to get you just one kill and you can fall back. You get yourself a guaranteed kill, you fall back and you make it hard.
Absolutely, I'm with you there, PD. But look, they are having a little bit of an issue with the server here at the moment. They're just going to try reset the team's economy and things like that. So while we get that sorted, we're going to cut real quickly to an ad break, guys, and we'll be back in hopefully really soon with this, so we can finish off this second map of the best of two. So stay with us, guys.